Hey friends, Stacy here with Quinn at Hen House Blossoms, and I owe you guys a huge apology because the whole point of this channel was to really keep you guys updated on what was going on. It is my first year as a cut flower gardener, and I did great for about half the season, and then I totally failed you, and that is my fault. So I'm going to try really hard this year as my second year to be a little more on top of letting you guys know what's going on. So it is February 7th or 8th, something like that.
It's the 7th.
It's the 7th. Of course he knows. And I am starting on my spring flower garden. And yes, I'm starting it a little late, but not as late as last year. So this year,
Is spring already?
It's not spring yet. So this year I'm kind of diving into more of the Hardt Annuals and starting them in early spring. So remember, I'm here in Northern Maryland. I am a zone 7. And so I am starting seeds indoors this year with the intentions of getting them out, 4 to 6 weeks before my last frost, which I think is sometimes around the end of April for me. So I have already started to do a little bit of work. I did not film yesterday because honestly, I really was not feeling well, and I just kind of wanted to play in the dirt and not be bothered by it. So now I'm on day 2. I figured I'll let you know what I've done and what we're doing. So we are again starting seeds indoors. Quinn is helping me to start sifting the soil that we're using. So I have neglected to get a proper sifter. So we are using a colander and this itty bitty sand toy sifter that we have.
Honestly, that's better than this.
You can give it a try, but you can only put a little bit in at a time. That's the problem.
It has better holes.
It does have better holes, but you're only going to be able to put a little bit in at a time. But give it a go. Give it a go. All right, so we are sifting the soil, and I'm going to show you what soil we're using in a minute here.
It's still hollow because this is smaller than
I know,
this.
there's
so
not a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. They're both equally as hard. So I should also mention, I apologize for the lovely view in here, but we are in my laundry room. This is really the only spot that I have that I can go ahead and start my seeds indoors, but that's perfectly fine. I have a space. I'm happy with it. It's just not going to exactly be the most beautiful space to film in. So what have I started with this year? This year I did get grow lights, and I will share all that information with you. Instead of doing seed trays, I am going to be doing soil blocking this year. I went with the 2x2 soil blocker because space is not at a premium for me right now. And I'm not doing such a large production that I really need the smaller soil blockers. So a lot of things I read said the smaller ones are a little harder to work with and you might have to transplant up. So again, since space is not an issue with me right now, I went ahead and went with the larger soil blocker. And until I am able to get some fiberglass trays, I'm just using these plastic trays here, which I got off of Amazon as well. So I am a big follower of Regenerative Gardening. I will make sure to link her channel in the comments below. So a lot of the things I'm starting with are things that she recommended. So I am starting with the Coco Loco mix. And again, we're just sifting that to get all the big bits out of it so it's easier to soil block. And I am also adding in a little bit of the Biotone Starter Plus with the mycorrhiza. I'm sure I'm probably saying that wrong because every time I try to say it, I say it wrong. So we are sifting out the soil to get out all the big chunks. I'm mixing in a little bit of the Biotone Starter, and then we are mixing in water to create the brownie-ish mix to do our soil blocking. So I'll show how we're doing that in a minute. Let me also let you know what we have done so far. So these are the lights that I purchased, and I'm looking now and they're kind of not level, so we'll have to fix that. So I have 2 shelves set up in here. I can fit 4 of these trays per shelf, 2 lights in each section, and these are not technically grow lights. They are shop LED lights, which I did get on Amazon. A lot of the people I was following said you do not need technical grow lights. You're going to pay a lot more for the grow lights. That shop LED lights will do just fine. So I have the shop LED lights that I'm working with. And yesterday I went ahead and soil blocked my Snapdragons. If you followed my channel any last year,
W.
no big sneeze.
Singing.
Oh, excuse me. Then you know that Snapdragons are my nemesis. I tried very hard to get them to germinate last year with zero luck. So I did all the research this year and I'm trying again. So I did start my Snapdragons yesterday, and I also started Orlaya. So I did the Johnny Seed, let's see, hybrid Snapdragon early sunrise mix. And I did just white finch Orlaya. So these are two of the flowers that I am starting for my spring garden. So today I apparently have another helper. Paisley's here as well.
Sup?
And so now we are going to mix up some more soil. And my goal today is to get the Yarrow seeds planted. Maybe the Lysianthus, I'm not sure. I've got a lot I'm doing this year. I'm really adding on. I'm going to add 2 more rows this year. So I will be up to 5 rows that are 4x26. We need warm weather so we can kick these children outside.
W flowers. W flowers.
W flowers.
Good lights.
Okay. So let's get to it. I will show you guys how we're doing the soil blocking and get some seeds planted. Let's go.
Our place.
All right, so I went ahead and mixed up a little bit of our soil mixture. And again, I'm using the Coco Loco sifted just to get the large bits out so that it blocks easier. Plus putting a little bit of the Biotone starter in it. And I've already gone ahead and done one little section of cubes. I'm still trying to learn, you know, the perfect amount of moisture, but these don't look too bad. So I'll show you guys how I'm using the soil blocker here. So you can see in here how muddy this is. I mean, I'm going for, when I give it a good squeeze, that it kind of holds shape. So I'm thinking that's the right consistency. I don't know. This is my first time, so we'll see how it goes. So the way you use the soil blocker is come in and get as much of that soil in as possible. Push down and give it a little jiggle. And you're going to do this about 2 times. And yeah, I'm definitely going to need to mix up more soil, but that's okay. Give it a jiggle. Turn your soil blocker up. Take off what's on the bottom. I'm moving all my soil back together, and I'm going to do that one more time. Looks like I have just enough here to probably get one more. The rest of this block out. So pull it towards me. Your goal is to compact that soil in there as much as possible. And again, this is my first time doing this, guys, so all you professionals, don't slap me. I'm still learning. I'm YouTube self-taught. All right, do it a second time. Give it a good push. All right. Clean off the bottom. Now, one of the benefits to having a flat tray, which I do not have, is that obviously with all these ridges in here, while it's nice to get water under there, it's also going to make for a bumpy place to put our soil blocks. So put them on there, give it a little push, and ta-da!
You got yourself.
There are your soil blocks, or as my kids said, I'm doing Minecraft and I'm building blocks. So I'm going to get a couple more of these made up, and then we're going to go ahead and put I think we're going to go ahead and put our yarrow seeds in here. I think for the initial bed, I decided on 16 yarrow plants, so I will probably, let's see, what's our germination rate? We don't have a germination rate on these. These seeds are from Eden Brothers. This is my first time using them. All the seeds I planted yesterday were Johnny seeds, but I went ahead and got my yarrow and a couple other things from Eden Brothers to try them out. So I don't know. I might start 30 to see how they do. And if I have more than I need, that's not necessarily a bad thing. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up doing these soil blocks, and then I'll let you know what we've done tonight. Okay, friends, so I finished getting a bunch of soil blocks done up for the Yarrow. You can see I've just labeled my shelves here instead of labeling the trays. I just used washi tape and labeled each of the different seeds we're doing. I'm only planning on planting out 20 of the Yarrow. Yarrow actually does perennialize in my area. However, my understanding is that the color can get a little less intense each year if you're letting it come back on its own. So I may terminate it and use it just as an annual. Not sure yet. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll let it go once and see how it does. So again, I have the Yarrow, I have the Snaps and the Orlaya here, and then I have a tray of just Snapdragons. So I wanted to give you guys an idea of some of the things I have planned for this year's garden. I've already purchased a bunch of seeds, so I'm really, really, really excited. Okay, so I also have germinating sweet peas. So for those, I have taken them, put them in a very, very wet paper towel, wrapped them in aluminum foil, and they are sitting in a cool, dark place to pre-sprout. So the goal with that is to go ahead and figure out which seeds are viable and which ones actually pre-sprout, because then I'm not wasting my time with seeds that are never going to sprout. So I just put those in yesterday. I will probably check them maybe on Monday and see how they're doing. My understanding is just check them every couple days and see which ones have sprouted. So I do have sweet peas that are pre-sprouting, and that is the Spencer Ripple formula mix from Johnny's. So those are already started. I think I plan on doing 20 of those this year. And then of course Snapdragons, I already told you guys I was doing those. Those were also from Johnny's. That is more of the Snapdragons because they were out of the 50 packet, so I had to get 2 of the 30s. Again, I'm doing the Orlaya, the White Finch Orlaya. Those have been planted. I just planted the Yarrow. And again, that was the Colorado mix of Yarrow. So that should have a mix of pinks, reds, yellows, and whites. I'm going to give Lysianthus a try. I've heard some people say it's like one of the hardest things to plant, and then I've heard other people say it really isn't all that hard. Just follow the directions and it'll work. So I do need to get these in sooner rather than later because I've made my first mistake of the year. And I bought category 3 Lysianthuses. So these guys, I got the Roseannes because, oh my gosh, I've seen them so many times. And there's my little... And then see Nash's nose sticking through. Nash is trying to come through. But he keeps coming in here and eating the cat food. So I told him he has to stay out. The Roseanne Browns, I've just seen so many people grow them and they're just gorgeous. So we're going to give those a try. But because they're 3s, they won't bloom till later in the year. But patience, patience, patience. Also for the spring cut flower garden, so I need to get these in as soon as possible. I am doing stock. I picked up Iron Pink, Iron Blue, and Iron Apricot, all from Johnny's. So excited about those. From Eden Brothers, I also picked up my sunflowers. And again, I learned from my lesson last year. And I'm doing Pro Cuts this year, so I don't get all the pollen off of my sunflowers. So let's see, I got the Pro Cut bicolor. These are my zinnias. I was trying to find all the... Okay, well, they're all mixed up, so you're just going to get them out of order. Of course, I'm doing more zinnias. I absolutely loved zinnias last year, but this year I'm doing the Queenie Lime Mix. I got that one from Eden Brothers. I'm going to try Celosia this year. I'm a little weird about that one. You know, part of me is like, it's really cool looking, and part of me is like, not so much. But my husband actually really likes the look of them, so I did pick up Celosia. That's the mixed Pompous Plum. So we're going to give that one a go. Of course, Cosmos. I loved the Cosmos last year. Even if I didn't use the flowers, I loved the stems. They made for great greenery in a bouquet. So I definitely got more Cosmos. I got the Double Click Rose Bonbon from Eden Brothers. I went a little crazy, y'all. I'm doing basil again because I really enjoyed adding basil to my bouquets as well. Are you going to help me in the garden again this year? Yeah, okay. So I got cinnamon basil from Eden Brothers. A, it smells good. B, it just added lovely color and greenery. Here's another sunflower I got. I got the Pro Cut Plums. Loved the coloring on those. More Cosmos. This is the Double Click White Nights. Yeah, I got a lot. More Cosmos. This is the Double Violet. I'm also going to be trying ranunculus. I kind of messed up and didn't realize I should have got those in the fall. But my boss actually just requested them. So I think I told you guys last year, I take a lot of bouquets into my work. I work in a fabric store. So I'll take one in and put one on each of the cutting counters in the store. And we also have a cafe that's attached to our store. So I take a fresh bouquet into the cafe. So she actually is contributing to my seed fund this year because she was like, you bring in the most beautiful flowers and our customers love them. They're always complimenting them. So she's contributing to the seed fund this year, and she requested ranunculus. So I'm going to give them a try, but upon, going to buy the corms, you either had to buy them in the fall or they release like in spring, which technically if I was trying to get them into my spring flower garden, I probably should have already had them blooming by now. So they hopefully will still get a chance to bloom this year because they don't ship till March. So hopefully if I kind of get them in as soon as possible, I should still get some blooms before the end of the year. If not, we'll pull the corms and have them for next year. Zinnias, Cupcake Pink Mix. More sunflowers. This is the Pro Cut Reds. And Queen Lime Reds. So I think that's everything. I also have my dahlia tubers from last year, which I'm hoping survived because I did not get a chance to pull them. So as soon as the weather gets nice enough, I'm going to go out there and take a check on them and see how they're doing. I may still try and pull in a couple dahlia tubers to get into the ground. We'll see. I'm not sure. I'm not as hard pressed on those. So I do have some new things I'm trying this year. I'm super, super excited. We just had so much fun with the garden last year. And I mean, all of us. The kids loved coming out and hanging out with me. The dog loved coming out and hanging out with me. It's ruin your manicure season again. And yeah, I'm okay with that. So I'm going to try really hard to keep you guys posted on things this year so you can continue on with my journey and learn from my mistakes. Because again, I have no clue what I'm doing. I'm self-taught from YouTube. This is also more so a diary for me to remember what I did and what worked and what didn't work. It needs to be summer so these kids can get out of the house. So that's it for this episode. Stay tuned. I'll give you guys updates as these seeds hopefully start sprouting. And yeah, this year I'm going to beat Snapdragons. Yeah. That's it for Hen House Blossoms. Take care, guys.
So before we end this video, I thought I would share a quick little update on my sweet pea seeds. So what I did was I took my sweet pea seeds, I wrapped them in a very, very wet paper towel, folded them up, wrapped them in some foil, and I just had them in a cool, dark place, another corner here in my laundry room, just to pre-sprout these seeds. And look at this. This was only 4 days ago, and look at these sweet pea seeds. So once they have 2 little roots basically sticking out here, they are ready to go. So the purpose of this was really to figure out which seeds are actually viable seeds and are going to in fact sprout a plant. And my goal is to have 20 of these guys this year. So I'm gonna have to go through and count and see how many we have. And that means all these ones that have 2 root components to them, they're ready to be planted. So the ones that don't have pre-sprouting on them, then they're probably not viable seeds that are going to root. So this is basically going to be saving me some time so that once I transplant these into a cell block to get them going, I already know they're viable seeds and they should sprout with no problem. So I am super excited to see that this process is indeed working, and we should have some sweet peas for sure this year. Super, super exciting. All right, that's it for this video. See you next time. Stay tuned for more updates.